Welcome to the next lesson in this module. We're going to be looking at effective ways to onboard clients in order to expedite processes and save time for both sides. Now, typically when handling clients, it will start with an email, lead to a one-on-one call, and then post-call is where we discuss the details and get more information about the specific services they're requesting. Therefore, in this video, we're going to showcase an effective way to get that data so you don't necessarily have to waste time between a one-on-one email or further calls with that potential client. So one possible solution to this is creating Google Forms, as we're going to be able to create forms with questions that we know are pertinent for the underlying AI automation we're about to give service for. What's great about Google Forms is it's going to really expedite time when it comes to understanding the underlying pain points for the business and what they're really looking for on that specific service. Finally, you're going to be able to analyze the data from that Google form. And what's great is as you work with more businesses within your niche, you're going to be able to build bigger and bigger data there and really understand how to leverage this information for future developments. Knowing all this, let's go ahead and create a Google form together. And we're going to go under the pretense that this form's purpose is for an AI article generator service. And we're going to ask pertinent questions in regards to this service. Let's go ahead and walk step by step the pertinent questions that we would ask here at WebCafe AI when we would hand out a form for a specific service. So we're going to be looking at AI article generator. We're going to go ahead and start with a title. From here, I would add some type of branding, maybe a nice image for your header that shows your logo. And then whatever color seems to be most associated with your branding, I would change the underlying form to that. Following this, let's go ahead and make it very simple. You don't want too long of descriptions here. We're going to get very to the point here for the client. We're going to say, please complete this brief form to help us customize our AI article generator service to fit your unique content creation needs. From here, as you'll notice, it says we're going to be able to collect an email. Let's go ahead and go to our settings and make sure it all looks good for when we share this with multiple clients. We're going to want to have the ability to collect email addresses, and due to the fact that we've already had an email conversation, a one-on-one with this potential client, we'll know all the information associated with this client based off their email address. So make sure to have it as responder input. Following this, it's always nice to have the respondents receive a copy of their response so they can refer to it in future calls. Next, we want to make sure there is no restriction. So we're going to go ahead and turn this off. If I would have left that on, essentially when you shared the link with that potential client, they wouldn't have not been able to get access to it. Only people within your organization would have access to it. So make sure to turn that off. Everything else here looks perfect. Let's jump back over to the form and continue with our questions. So the first question we would start off with would be a very open-ended one. So essentially what we're trying to identify here is what direction, what market, what niche are they really caring about when it comes to the article generation for their business. Stuff like content style, topics, and target audience are really relevant within the AI article generator. And as you saw in the tutorial, we can really associate the keyword section for our generation with stuff like this, allowing for us to get really fine-tuned results. Go ahead and make sure that is required. We're going to go ahead and ask another question here. So some of these questions are going to be very much niche and specific to the business we're handing this form to. And then some of these questions we're going to use as a general purpose for our research. So we're going to go ahead and ask another question here. We're going to say, which of the following best describes your main purpose for using AI article generator? We're going to give the first option of increased content production here. We're going to add an option. We'll do decreasing content production cost, streamlining the content creation process, increasing content variety. Now, in theory, we could make this a checkbox. So if there's multiple reasons why, or we'll just do multiple choice in order to induce the most important to them when it comes to why they're even taking the service on to begin with. Now let's ask another niche question specific for the client here. We're going to go ahead and ask a question that's asking when they would want this to be up and running. So essentially we're going to put in, when are you looking to start using our AI article generator service? And they'll essentially provide a date. Let's go ahead and make sure we make both of these required. Let's go ahead and ask one more question here. We're going to add this and we're going to say, how frequently will you need articles generated? And we're going to add a couple options here. Monthly basis. And then of course, we'll give an option here for other, just in case they want to give their own input. Now let's go ahead and ask one final question here. This is going to really let us gauge how long they want the underlying article to be. Therefore, how many ChatGPT blocks we'll have to use in the underlying automation. We'll simply put, how many words shall be generated per article? And then we're going to go ahead and give the options 0 to 500, 500 to 1,000, and kind of just go like this. We'll do 1,000, 2,500, and then we'll just go ahead and do 2,000 plus, And then we'll give that option of other again, so they can go ahead and input. Maybe they want 3,000 or whatever it may be in their context. Let's go ahead and preview it. Come over here. And here we go. So we ask for the email, and we know once they provide the email, everything and all the data that's associated with the email, such as the email chain, the one-on-one calls, we're gonna have access to. Then we're gonna basically get, can you briefly outline, just get an idea of the context of the type of content they want generated with the article. And then essentially this is a data point for us to use for other clients. We really understand good selling points for future clients. Then we have a date, essentially kind of hard points it where when they want it to be published and start generating. Next, we have the frequency. So that'd be the scheduler within the automation. And then finally, we have the idea of how many blocks for ChatGPT we're going to need to use for the underlying AI article generator, whether that be 2 with the 500, 1,000 or be 3 with the 1,000 to 1,500. Once complete, you can go ahead and hit send here, and we can send by email address, send by link, and even embed it as an HTML. What I would suggest you do is create a Google Sheets where essentially every single one of your service has an associated form with it, therefore allowing for expedited process times when you need to give, maybe 2 different forms to an individual. Another thing to point out here, make these forms as brief as possible. Get straight to the point. You don't want to ask too many superfluous questions, so you don't really, have the underlying business not want to do business with you because they're just getting asked too much information. Only ask the information that's either 1, going to help you with other clients, or 2, get to the bottom line of how the AI automation should be structured. Perfect. Now we know how to save time when getting data for a specific AI automation. And one step further, now we know how to get data for our market niche and really understand other pain points that our businesses are facing and understand why in particular they would choose a service that we're offering. Knowing all this, we're going to be able to effectively onboard future clients due to the fact that we're using more data-driven results rather than us kind of shooting in the dark when it comes to a new niche. We kind of know, okay, well, when they do AI article generator, we see that they tend to do it in order to decrease cost associated with freelance work. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the next lesson here where we look into a email funnel for cold leads.